Hello everyone and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for Friday, January the 4th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions for me, you can use this email address. This is a link to get into our free room. It is 100% free. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our room. I open the room at around 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And that's when I start to share my screen, get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go to up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. This is a link for a subscription to Trade Ideas. You'll see a promo code there for 15% off either the first month of a standard or premium or the entire year of a standard or premium service. Well, kind of a strange day for me because the market ripped. Okay, this was the pre-market action. Okay, so it was already up a lot and it really had a tremendous day. There were just a couple of blips here, minor pause there, and I think the Fed came out. I think that was that was at 10:15, and Mr. Powell gave a little talk, and I guess obviously whatever he said, the market liked it. There was a little pause here. In fact, we were watching this right there to see if it would take this out. It didn't. It held, and now it continues to move higher. So unfortunately, there were a couple of things that I just kind of missed. But I just want to draw your attention to this one from Holly. Now, it's interesting because one of our posters in the room, Adam, he mentioned this one early, said, you know, keep an eye on this. And a little while later, Holly had the alert at 263, gets as high as 310, just a tremendous percentage move. Right now we are talking 11%, but at the highs here, I think it was about 15%. So just a great move. I'm actually watching this on the pullback to see whether or not it takes out 3 again, because if you look at it on the daily chart, it definitely has a lot of room. It's a beautiful looking daily chart. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm going to see what happens a little bit later on that one. So I had a couple other little Holly trades, and you know what happened for me, unfortunately, is that on this candle there, got a little bit nervous, and I got out of a couple of the trades. I made a little bit of money. It was APO and CYOU, but now, for instance, I think the CYOU is really ripping. But obviously, I allowed myself to be a little bit I guess biased in the fact that I just wasn't sure if this nice pop in the market was going to last. And the minute that red bar started coming in, it looked like, okay, maybe that's it, and we'll get the resumption of the downtrend. But anyway, I mean, that it does happen. I think the CYOU is probably still pretty good. Yeah, these were the alerts, 1733. I did get into it up in this area, made a little bit on it, but not much. I actually had for games. For this GameStop, I actually had this one as a potential short. I'll actually pop in. If you want this one that I'm starting to use now, this is a pre-market scanner. It's based on my pre-market actives, but it looks at Bollinger Band activity. And so it's looking at, let me just see if I can find it here. Real suggested this, Real in our room, one of the great traders we've got. Real suggested this a little earlier in the week to take a look at stocks that are outside their Bollinger Bands by 300% on the upside and 300% on the downside, and that a lot of times what will happen is that something like this, which was about over 300% above the Bollinger Band, would actually fade and maybe come back. Now the problem is that the market being so strong, you know, it was pretty tough for a lot of stocks to fade. But Flexion, as an example, was one that was below that 300%, and look what it did. It popped up and more. This was actually an earnings play. So I'm going to be watching this going forward, and if you want this one, just have to ask me for it. I mean, it's pretty simple. This is what so, you know, this is my price range. I might even tighten that up. Stock has to be up at least $1 or down $1, and then 300% above or below the upper or lower Bollinger Band, okay? So when I see, and so there are not that many in the pre-market, but especially with some volume, but GME was one, and Flexion was another, and I think there was a couple, another one was CRH, which again, this is one that I actually tried to short right there, and because it was way above the Bollinger Band too. But again, in this sort of a market, pretty tough to go short almost anything. I'm not saying there was nothing. In fact, my one good trade of the day was Momenta. and I actually was able to short it right here and cover most of it in this area. But then look what happened. It actually popped too. So anyway, want to get back into the room. So if you want this one, all you have to do is ask me for it, and I'll send it to you. And let's see, I want to bring back my capture program. All right, so again, if you want it, you just have to send an email to this email address. This is a link to get into our 100% free trading room. And this is a link for our subscription. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. And we'll see you in the trading room at 9 o'clock Monday morning. Bye-bye.